Hi, if you found this video, it's because you're looking for a way to boost your self-esteem. Maybe you want to feel more confident and comfortable in your own skin, and you've tried everything, but you still just don't feel like your self-esteem is in a good place. Well, I've got tips for you that are guaranteed to change the way you feel about yourself and raise your self-esteem and keep it that way once and for all. My name is Jess McCann. I'm an author and a dating and relationship coach. When I was a kid, I had very low self-esteem. When I was in high school, I felt like I was different from everyone else. I felt like people didn't like me, and I felt like an outsider. And my mother would try to help me and tell me how beautiful I was and how special I was, but it only made me feel worse. It only made me feel like I couldn't really tell her that I didn't have that many friends. It made me feel like her expectations were really high and she would be disappointed when she knew and found out who I really was, which was somebody that people didn't like. So I walked around with a very low self-perception and therefore had a very low self-esteem. And maybe that's what you're experiencing right now too. You just don't feel good about yourself. You can't do the things you like. You can't meet the people you want because you have low self-esteem. So I'm going to tell you something that I wish someone had told me back when I was younger and felt bad about myself. Self-esteem is a byproduct. You can't actively work on your self-esteem by focusing on your self-esteem. In order to explain that, I need to tell you why your self-esteem is low in the first place. You are too self-absorbed. And I know that kind of hurts to hear, but it's the truth. And it's what I wish someone had told me when I was younger. Looking back now at who I was as a kid and a young adult, it is very clear to me that 90% of the time, I was thinking about myself and how I wasn't good enough. I was completely absorbed in me. If I thought about other people, it was only in relation to what they thought of me. I never just thought of them separate from how they were interacting with me or what my relationship was with them. So the more that you think about yourself, the more absorbed in you that you are, the worse you're going to feel about yourself, because we are not meant to be so self-centered. So in order for your self-esteem to go up, all you have to do is take the focus off yourself. Notice how much you think about yourself. I know that when we hear the word self-absorbed, we automatically think of narcissism. We think of someone who thinks that they're great and walks around talking about themselves and touting their accomplishments. But that isn't the only way you can be self-absorbed. You can be negatively self-absorbed, which is what I was when I was younger. I just walked around thinking about all the things I lacked and how no one liked me. And that's probably what you're doing. You're thinking too much about all the things that you're not, comparing yourself to other people, and that's making you feel bad. So the answer is not to run out and buy a book or listen to a podcast or get a coach that's going to tell you that you're great, you're awesome, talk positively about yourself. Because all that's going to happen is that all that self-focused thought on yourself is going to flip from negative to positive. That's the only outcome that can actually occur. It's exactly what happened to me. If you want to know my story more in detail, I would pick up a copy of my book, Cursed, because my whole story is in here. So in order to raise your self-esteem, the fastest and easiest way to do it is to notice when you are focusing and thinking about yourself and stop doing it. It's going to be a very hard habit to break at first because it's likely how you've lived your whole life. You probably haven't even noticed how much you think about you. But in order for your self-esteem to increase, your thoughts about yourself have to decrease considerably. Whenever I'm having a down day, whenever I'm feeling bad, I always take a moment and pause and realize that the reason I'm having a bad day is because I am too in my head thinking and stressing and ruminating about something that has to do with me and my worth or value. And when I notice that, I take a couple deep breaths and I say to myself, stop thinking about me. And then I focus on someone else. There's so many people that we all can focus on other than ourselves. I can focus on my 2 boys, my 2 children. I can focus on my husband. I can focus on my parents and my step-parents, my sister, her family, my friends. I mean, there's just so many people. You have people that I'm sure you can focus on as well. And if you stop in those moments where you notice you are self-ruminating and wrestling with your worth, and simply take a couple deep breaths and drop the subject with yourself. Know that you're never going to find worth through thinking about your worth. You will start to feel better. It's going to be a daily process to let go of this self-absorbed thinking. But if you can do it, your self-esteem is going to skyrocket. I can guarantee you, because it happened to me and it's happened to so many clients that I've coached. Again, if you want to know more, it's all in my new book, Cursed: Why You Still Don't Have the Relationship You Want and the 5 Cures That Can Transform Your Love Life. This book talks about self-esteem a lot, talks about self-absorbed thinking. There are 5 types of self-absorbed mindsets. So check out the book. And if you want to know more, follow me on Instagram at I am Jess McCann, because I do free coaching over Instagram Live, and I can help you with your struggle with self-esteem.